LDBC, this is your boy Coach Sheldon Harrison. You're live on the Coach Sheldon Harrison Boxing and MMA Show live. All right, guys, let me tell you do something. Let me tell you do something right now. Here's another promo ad for Diaz McGregor too. Okay, here's an ad. And I'm going to tell you this right now, okay? McGregor and Diaz, they're showing boxers how it's done. They're showing these new age boxers, these new age, soft, weak dudes that fight now. They're showing them how it's done. Okay? Conor McGregor, for all intents purposes, I don't like him and like his demeanor, but the dude could have took an easy fight. Like, he could have went back down to 145 and beat up on those guys. He could have. Look, man, this dude got pride, and he do care about his legacy. See, these guys in MMA, it's very rare that you have a mixed martial artist that stays undefeated. Because some point in your career, somebody's going to get you. Because there are so many different avenues of MMA. Boxers, they're afraid, man. They don't want to take the risk. Because they think that their whole marketability is tied to being undefeated. And it's like everybody wants to do the Floyd Mayweather blueprint. Guys like Floyd Mayweather, they come around like once every 2 decades, man. And I'm talking about a guy that can stay undefeated. The guys, it's just not going to happen. And a lot of the guys that you see undefeated, if all the undefeated fighters faced each other, there'll be a lot of guys with a lot of losses in boxing. And that's just how it is. Okay, I mean, guys like Floyd and guys like, Joe Calzaghe, they come around once every decade. And it's almost literally impossible for a person to stay undefeated. Most of the people that box, when they end their careers, they're not undefeated. Less than 1% of the fighters are undefeated when they retire. That ought to tell you something. That ought to tell you that it's a feat that only a select special few of great athletes are able to accomplish. And that's just the way that is. Okay, it's not. McGregor, Diaz, they're not afraid. They're not afraid of losing. They embrace that because they want to go out on a limb. They want to go out swinging and fighting. That's what these two guys, see, they're teaching the fighters, boxers, the MMA fighters, they're teaching boxers how it's done. They're teaching boxing how it's done. I remember back in the past, man. If somebody called you out in boxing, you tried to make that fight happen. You tried to make it happen. Even if everybody thought you would lose, you make that fight happen if somebody called you out. Like when Lennox Lewis, he called out Mike Tyson, and everybody was picking Lennox to win, but Mike Tyson still took the challenge. He still took the challenge. He still did it. Whether we like Mike or not, he took the challenge. See, these new age fighters, man, these guys, they want something for nothing. And I see this all the time, y'all, when I'm training these athletes I got now. They want something for nothing. They don't want to do what's necessary to get it done. McGregor and Diaz, they don't care. They don't care. These two guys are purely, you can say Conor McGregor is about the money, but I disagree with that. I think Conor McGregor really does care about legacy. Because if he only cared about the money, he could take some easy fights and just make a little bit of money based on his mouthpiece. Okay, but he said, listen, I can go back down and fight Jose Aldo and rematch him, but what is that going to do? I beat him easy. Conor McGregor don't want, look, man, he's taking a challenge. And I give Conor McGregor full props and credit for taking it. I give Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz could have easily avoided Conor McGregor and said Conor McGregor got to work his way back up. He could have did that. Nope, Nate Diaz said, look, y'all thought he beat me the first time? Y'all thought that my win wasn't legit? Okay, I'm going to get in there with him again and show you. See, this is the element that's missing in boxing. This is non-existent in boxing. And now you see why UFC, like pay-per-view bouts, they're going to get minimum, no less than 500,000 pay-per-view buys. They're going to get that. Even some of your worst UFC bouts, the pay-per-view buys are good. They're better than boxing. It's better because fans are getting what they want to see. They're getting the matchups. And you know what? There's even an intricate formula. And maybe somebody can help me out with the UFC formula, like how they rank people, or not just the UFC formula, but the rankings period in MMA. Because I know there's a certain way that they do it, and maybe somebody can educate me on that, okay? How they rank. Because the rankings, when you look at an MMA fight, the rankings and how they match to people, I've rarely seen a mismatch in MMA. Rarely. It's been a rarity, y'all. It's been like every now and then you'll see a mismatch and you'll see somebody who shouldn't be in a ring with somebody. But guys, again, that's a rarity, okay? In boxing, I can talk about all the mismatches I've seen. I can talk about a whole bunch of them. Like, one come to mind, Danny Garcia and Rod Salka. Listen, folks, that's never going to go away. It's never going to go away, y'all. That matchup, to me, could have got Rod Salka killed. Okay, the matchup with Canelo and Amir Khan, it could have got Amir Khan killed. And I know people, they make fun of Khan, but really, Amir Khan could have lost his life, man. He really and truly could have died in that ring. And at one point when Canelo hit him, I thought Amir Khan was I thought really and truly he wasn't going to wake up and come out of there. I thought he wasn't. Like, I actually wasn't laughing at it until, when he really, got up. And, of course, he's back to normal and still making some of the comments. But, guys, Khan, really and truly, he could have lost his life. And he took a chance, man. I don't care what you say. Floyd Mayweather and Amir Khan, they took a chance fighting Canelo. Because, actually, Canelo got that one-punch knockout power like it's lights out. People, that's how it is. But, see, the matchups in MMA, they seem to be on an even playing field. They seem to be, people, and that's just the way that is. Okay, it's just the way that is. So, okay, in hindsight, in retrospect, what do we do? You see, boxing is going to have to take a page out of the UFC and what Dana White is doing. They're going to have to do it. Because if they choose not to do these things, then the pay-per-view model is going to die. Now, I see where Al Heyman is going, and Dana White actually does endorse PBC. He's a big fan of PBC. He's already said it, too. And he watches PBC fights. Dana White does. Because you know what's happening, what Dana White does, what they do? In the UFC, they give you a lot of free fights during the week and sometimes on the weekend. You get to see a lot of free fights on free TV. But what they're doing when they give you all those free fights is they're building up their next pay-per-view event. So you can see these events all over the ads, on these free fights. And guess what? The cards that you get on free TV with Dana White, those cards, I'm going to tell you, it's good. And so now you got everybody. They're intrigued. They want to see the matchups. And now everybody's like, oh, crap. I better go order UFC 201. I better get UFC 202. See, and then the pay-per-view numbers are right there. I think Al Heyman is going to follow that model. And he's going to need to. I don't think pay-per-view is dead. I don't think it's dead. I think Al Heyman is going to, and with Showtime. See, that's where the Showtime connect. He's going to keep letting these fighters fight on free TV. And then they're going to start having these pay-per-view matchups on Showtime. See, HBO, nobody's going to be willing to work with them. And not some of the really good fighters, because when they catch on that really Jim Lampley, they're just downgrading a lot of the fighters and a lot of the talent, it's not going to happen. See, they're not going to do it. Al Heyman and PBC, they're going to take this model that the UFC has laid out. They're going to take it, and they're going to run with that. And I guarantee you in 2 to 3 years, the PBC, going to be a lot of free fights on TV, and then you're going to start having stuff like PBC pay-per-view. I guarantee you that that's going to happen. Coach Stradamus has spoken, okay? But these two guys, they're showing fighters, they're showing you boxers what it's doing. Fight everybody. Fight anywhere. Fight until you have beaten everyone. That's a threat. That's Conor McGregor. Like Conor McGregor even said something. He said, I want to fight everybody. I want to fight everybody I can who think they can beat me. He said, that's what he said. Nate Diaz said, I don't give a F who I fight. That's Nate Diaz. And guess what? He backing it up. He backing his words. And now they back in the ring. Guys, you guys tell me what you think about this. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. I'm done. What are you guys waiting on? Subscribe.